Hello everybody, it's Nick from HiFi Collective here. Today we're going to be doing quite an easy build. A customer wants a speaker cable using the NES-3004 MKII from Neotech, terminated with the NCB-80 GD bananas there, and then the spades are the SK-8Ys. So let's prep it. You can see here that these have a direction mark on them, an arrow. So we're going from the bananas all the way around to the spades. So this wire isn't directional, it's only directional once you start using it. Once it starts conducting juice, the crystals will align, and you always want to have it that way around, it will sound better. So let's put that one to the side. So we've got the start end, so this was the amp end, and I generally go back about 13 centimeters. And I'm going to use a bit of tape just to get a nice round cut on this. That's there. So we want 13. There's a bit of a ruler on here. So that's there. 13 is there. Pop the tape round. So the idea is that when you cut the sleeve off, it's going to be kind of straight and flat. Because often you cut a sleeve and you'll start at one point, and by the time you've got round, you'll be at a different point and it looks a bit ugly. So in there with a sharp Stanley blade, and then just work your way around. Don't go too deep for the initial cut, and just follow the edge. There it is. Right. And you can see I'm opening it up now. So I'll just, you have to be really careful because it's so easy to cut into the conductors inside. Just open it enough so it splits like that. There you go. Right, so it's too big a length just to slide off, so you have to come in. So I'll cut all the way down, not too deep. And then some cutters. I'll open up the start a bit. There you go. Should open up quite easily, like that. And it's got a paper wrap on it. Let's remove that. Don't need that. And then it's got an inner filler, this white thing. Cut that off. So we've got 4 conductors that are red, 4 that are black. So group them together like so. Just come on the other side. Like that. And just give them just a bit of a twist. Like so. make it even, the twist. So it looks uniform. So that looks fine. And then you want them the same length, approximately. So snip those two bits off. Let's do the red first. Unwind. And then with the wire strippers, right, I'm just going to show you this quickly. So here, this is a WBT 0436 cable end sleeve. So we're going to expose the wire and then cover the sleeve. So you want to figure out how much wire you want. So you want to go a bit over. So about that. About that. About that. About that. And get that form back in, the twist. And twist this up. So I like to add a bit of solder just to keep it together. Not too much solder. Let's get the vise back in. When you're using a vise, just be aware that your vise will mark the outer wall. Solder. So don't go crunching it in because you'll just wreck it. All right, so make sure that's a bit tight like that. There. And then you just heat your wire. 1 elephant, 2 elephant, touch a bit of solder. Don't go mental with your solder. So the solder, you can see it just seeping throughout, just to keep its form. That's it. And this will go over the top. Oops. There's always a loose strand there, isn't there? Like that. Brilliant. I'm just going to give it a squeeze with some pliers, if I can find any, just to keep it on. Cool. And then I'm going to do the other one, the black. Cool, get that twist back in. Twist up again. And add the solder. Like so. Not too much. Cable end sleeve over the top. So the reason why I like these cable end sleeves is because if you've got this clamped in a connector and you don't have a cable end sleeve, the screw will screw down onto the wire, it will rip strands of the wire, and that's not a good thing. Give it a squeeze. Right, so if you remember, we're doing bananas at this end, as the original one is. Yep. So here we have the bananas. So this is Neotech's, what do they call them? NCB-80s. Red. Blue. So one of the key things when you're doing any of this kind of work is you have to have the right sized screw, because you can see here the grub screws are just flathead. I mean, it's not the best way to do it. I always think Allen key or torque screw heads are better because you can get more force on. So I'm just taking them, loosening them off. Well, it's just one. Pull out that. Okay, so that's ready to rock. And we're going to go red first. So pop that on there. That'll fit in there. And then screw down. So don't over tighten these. So that's nice and firm, and that'll go over the top. If you do this and the grub screw's too high up, the shell won't go over the top, and that causes problems. So this is a good fit. That's that one done. Then the black, they use blue. Don't ask me why. There you go. Pop that over the top. Loosen this one off. They also have this insert, which we're not using. Pop that in there. Loosen it a bit more. And that's in. And tighten it up. Alright, that'll do. Over the top, nice and strong. What's going on? Let's do it a bit tighter. So hold the body and the vise. Just need a little bit more of a turn. Because the shell's not going over it nicely. Right, brilliant. So that's right up flush against there now, like the other one. Cool. Now I'm going to take this tape off. You don't need that there anymore. I can reuse that. And then we're going to use a bit of heat shrink. The 19.1, which I'm sure I've got somewhere here. Is that 19.1? Always best to cut with a pair of scissors, so make it nice and flat one end. And I'm going to do about 4.5 centimeters. Do the same for the other side. Nice and straight. Cool. I'm going to come from the other end. Over the top. And then we're going to put the other bit on for the other end. Hop. Right, so, and that goes over, because you want to hide up that, really. So you go up about that much. You can feel where it is, so you want to be over about half. Heat gun. Cool. So this is the amp end. It's all ready to go. So all we're going to do is prepare the other end as we've done before, and then we'll jump back on to when I'm wiring in the actual spades, because these spades have a slightly different connection. They have two grub screws, one there, one there. So just give me a sec. We have prepared the other end that are going to receive the Neotech spades. These have two grub screws in. So let's get rid of the inner plastic sleeve, which we don't need. With these, the aperture is slightly smaller. So as a result, we have to clamp down on this. So I'm going to do it with a pair of pliers first, like that, and then I'm going to use the vise just to give it a bit more squeeze. So the other end you can see there. Who needs those special pliers? Right, this one, you've got wire coming out the end, so I'm just going to snip those off. Yes, so we get Johnny, and then give that squeeze as well. Pliers first, just to keep it together. Squeeze. Alright, so sleeve, the red one, over the red one there. And then that goes in there. Now, I'm going to hold this in place with the vise. There. Don't clamp the jaws onto the actual thread because it would be a nightmare to pull the sleeve over. So, don't over tighten the first one, reverse it. I can feel that's tight already, that one. Right, I'm going to take it out, needs tightening more, squashing more, should I say. Right. Squished it a bit too much now, go the other way. Right. Just do it by hand to begin with. As in holding it by hand. Yeah, so the spades need a bit more work. Because the hole's smaller. I don't know whether that's going to go over. Yep. There you go. Tighten that up. That's all done. Brilliant. So, next one for the black. Give it a bit of a squeeze. Put the sleeve over. Right, does it fit? A bit too wide. So and then by hand, do some, don't screw up completely tight. That's that. Right, now pop it in the vise. So as I was saying earlier, flathead screws, Phillips screws aren't the best for these grub screws. I feel Allen key or Torx screw heads, because you get much more connection to actually do a good tight physical contact with what's underneath. You can because obviously it's easy to rip the head of the screw, but anyway, we're doing all right. We're doing okay. The other side. It's cool. Let's just make sure we can get this over the top. Yes, all good. And then all that remains is this. Now you want to match it to the same as the other end. So you can feel it. That's all right. And there we have it. Boom. So quite an easy build. Another happy customer, hopefully. Just before I sign off, I want to say a big thank you for watching our videos. Like and subscribe, and follow us on all the social network platforms. See you later.